welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. We just finished helping out our home village. Maybe. And we helped our old bud, Sir Wade.
Thank you again for all you have done for me and mine, my lord. You may rest assured that Eastpool will be safe in my hands. Thanks to you.
Yep. But there's more quests for us to do.
We defended Eastpool once, and we can do it again, and again, and again.
Thank you, my lord. You showed us what it means to fight for what's ours, and we shall strive to follow in your footsteps.
We couldn't have done this if we hadn't all pulled together. Even you and Martha chipped in. We owe you a debt of gratitude, my lord.
The hero returns. It's lucky you came by when you did, eh? Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved Eastpool and all.
I just did what I could.
And it's only right that you get rewarded for it. Take it.
Some sloppy
before I
toppy.
change my mind.
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back on its feet again. And a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
So no
It
head.
was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even hidden away. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that reminds me of when I first met Sid. Loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye. What happened?
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to meet me. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day. That whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
Just a little.
Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some dinner, shall we? The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
All right.
Don't worry, Clive. You went alone in this fight. Whenever you find yourself in need, be it of money, men, or a bowl of hot stew, the stable's door is always open.
Move on to the next one.
Everything's back the way it was.
Take that, you naughty thief! And that! Stop it, Renz! It's dangerous!
Everyone round town saying Master Lubo's going
Yeah, man.
Well,
That's very unsafe to swing around that stick.
From the Canva caravan, like naught
Mustard and mandrakes.
My customers can't seem to get enough of these barns. Perhaps my fool of an apprentice wasn't so foolish after all.
I'm all for it.
When the Fang fella took my livelihood with it. No work here for a miner anymore.
what about the town watch? Swinging a sword can't be too different from swinging a pick.
Those damned blackguards took all my best pieces. Just my luck that we were robbed by connoisseurs.
Daddy, what happened to your crystal?
It broke, Sam. And we won't be getting another.
We need someone who can bring the whole town together. Further, maybe?
Are you forgetting about Lubor? He was the one who convinced Conrad and Natalie to join forces.
When's the sun going to come out again?
Are you feeling the chill? Let's take a trip to the baths, shall we? Get ourselves warmed up.
Nothing to report. Same as yesterday. And the day before.
That should be everything.
Gilbert, take this crystal. It's no more use than the bearer I sold to buy it. Ah, well, can always buy another. And at least I don't have to feed it.
I always thought it was the blessing I'd miss if the Fang fell, not the miners.
Yes. You could always count on them not knowing the price of anything.
I still can't quite believe it. Lord Kupka, gone.
And all his men with him. Our best customers.
fang fella took my livelihood with it.
If there's one thing we've learned over the past few moons...
Mustard and mandrake,
Fresh
saffron and
silk.
sage.
Everything's back the way it was. I don't know how they did it.
I do. With a hell of a lot of hard work.
I'm glad Conrad and Natalie have put their differences aside. But if they're going to spend all day here conferring, is it too much to ask that they order more than a single drink?
The caravans have sent word that the bandits are regrouping.
Let them! We'll be all right. After all, we have the town guard to protect us.
The Town Watch and the Merchants Guild have remained united in the defense of Dalimil thus far. But we cannot be blind to the fact that having two leaderships is a recipe for division.
What we need is a mayor. One who can steer the whole town true. And I can think of none better for the role than young Lubor.
Everything's back the way it was.
Take that, you naughty thief!
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure?
I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats, and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalimil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalimil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
But we'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud, by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you.
I'll go and speak with him.
What's the difference between a lord and a mayor? That's easy. One of them swings a sword, the other forges them.
Victor has been collating reports on the bandits' encampments. You'll find him by the desert gate. I'm sure if he has anything to ask of you, it will be simple enough.
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition.
Mustard and mandrake, saffron and sage.
If there's one thing we've learned over the past few moons, it's that we're stronger when we stick together. And if having a mayor can help us do that, I'm all for it.
Mustard and mandrake,
Fresh
saffron and
silks from the
sage.
can to can. Like naught seen before.
Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon at as many camps as we can. We can't give this league of theirs time to rally its forces.
All right. Which camp shall I take?
There's one upriver. Just out there, across the dunes.
Leave it with me.
The camp is in the desert to the north of here. You know what to do.
If those ne'er-do-wells want to band together, there'll be no match for us.
Come on.
The deeper I've gone into this game, the more I think we could have pulled back on the side quest. I feel as if they might have a little too many side quests in the game. And they're not the most interesting. At least not in my opinion. Some of them are better than others. None of them are really that bad. Most of them are solid, for sure. But none of them are really that great. I feel like if you wanted to play this game and just ignore the side quests, but still play in the normal difficulty, I think the game would give you a hard time. It's hard to find a game with side quests that's not like that. When it does come to side quests, I think I do kind of like maybe how a game like Fallout 4 does it, where it's the world, and whilst you're traveling, that's how you find a side quest.
Enough.
And you can kind of just sort of find them and do them naturally.
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you? Ah, I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but that's not why you're here, is it?
That being said, a game like GTA 5...
Something's happened. We need you back in Dalimil.
The side quests in that game, aka the Stranger and Freaks missions...
uproar. They're saying that Lubor...
They will pop up on the map and you can go and do them.
What? Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have.
And they're just really entertaining for the most part.
And his escape route took him right through Dalimil.
Pretty enjoyable.
Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt
I guess a game like GTA 5 where crazy shit's always happened, and
that's not possible.
It's hard for
and has been hiding it all these years.
Side quests not to be at least somewhat fun.
He has. Well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by
I think what it all boils down to is that this game,
all those people,
and I can only speak for myself, but this game's kind of boring.
Leader of himself when the world believed he should have been.
Especially during the side quests. And I think
where we go from here.
It's not all boring.
One thing.
The lore has been fun and interesting. Like the main plot, for the most part, especially in those intense moments. Most of these side quests are boring. There have been a few interesting ones. I think what helps make it boring is because this game is
And now
quote-unquote medieval.
I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running.
But we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something, and quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
You're right. We should speak to everyone.
I'm glad you agree. I'll handle the townsfolk. I'm a Dalmec born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
And that is all I can ask of you.
The man with the sword was going to kill us, but then Lubor shot magic at him. It was amazing.
I don't care if Lubor's a bearer. He's still Lubor, isn't he?
Thank you, Clive. I'm sure you have better things to do with your time.
Why didn't he tell us?
So, Lubor is a bearer, is he? He did well to keep it hidden so long. Unlike some of my fellow Dalamilians, the deception doesn't trouble me. Does the world know the full truth about them, I wonder?
None of the stalls were plundered this time, thanks, Peter Gilbert. How did your men fare? Any wounded?
The only thing wounded was our pride. We swore never to let a bandit set foot in this town again, and we failed.
I say the quests are boring, but this one has taken an interesting turn.
I saw the whole thing. The magic flew straight from Lubor's hand, I swear it. And without a crystal in sight.
Why are you taking the bearer's side, Victor? Are you one too?
You know I'm not. Just listen.
Can you believe we were going to make him mayor? He would have been the ruin of us all.
I think we'd better shut up shop for today. Give people one less thing to throw at him.
Sounds like something's happening in the square.
I wonder what.
Those damned blackguards took all my best pieces. Just my luck that we were robbed by connoisseur.
Daddy, what happened to your crystal?
Nothing to report. Same as yesterday. And the day before.
That should be everything. Question is, where does Natalie want it?
Gilbert, take this crystal. There's no more use than the bear.
I always thought it was the blessing I'd miss if the Fang fell. Miners.
The bastard's been lying to us. Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside? It's driving away our customers.
He knew all along that he was playing us for fools.
And we fell for it. We followed him. A bearer.
Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this at least he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil, and they will thank you not to get involved.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
For a share in Lubor's ill-gotten gil, perhaps?
What do you mean, don't jump to conclusions? He cast a spell without a crystal. What other conclusion is there?
Can you believe we were going to make him mayor?
The bastard's been lying to us for as long as...
So, Lubor is a bearer, is he?
Go on, Sid. No sense stalling. Lubor needs to know the truth.
I don't care if Lubor's a bearer. He's still Lubor, isn't he?
I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still hope. But...
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us.
We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
They would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. A reward for clearing out that bandit camp. Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do. Anything.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.
Why is everyone being mean to Lubor? He didn't do anything wrong.
I'm going to go with him.
Why didn't he tell us?
If you're going to try and convince me to stay, save your breath. I will not put those children at risk.
What do you mean, don't jump to conclusions? He cast a spell without a crystal. What other conclusion is there?
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
For a share in Lubor's ill-gotten gil, perhaps?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside? It's driving away our...
Lubor has been lying to us from the beginning. How can we trust him?
You may have your business interests to consider, my lord, but do not think you can sway us with your honeyed words.
Can you believe we were going to make him mayor? He would have been the ruin of us all.
bastard's been lying to us for as long as...
Lord Ferda has ordered us to keep tracking the bandits' movements, according to Master Lubor's wishes. Though he may not have told us the full truth, Lubor's never given us any reason to doubt him.
I saw the whole thing. The magic flew straight from Lubor's hand, I swear it. And without a crystal in sight.
None of the stalls were plundered this time, thanks, Peter Gilbert. How did your men fare? Any wounded?
The only thing wounded was our pride. We swore never to let a bandit set foot in this town again. And we failed.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
For sharing Lubor's ill-gotten guilt, perhaps?
I think we'd better shut up.
Sounds like something's happening in
Give
the
people
square.
one less thing to throw.
I wonder what.
That should be everything. Question is, where does Natalie want it all?
But take this crystal. It's no more use than the bear.
The bearer of the burning quill is within, my lord. Prithee enter.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to uncover Ultima's origins. Have you learned anything of note since last we spoke?
Little and less, I regret to report.
I see.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth is known.
This isn't Tyler, is it?
Archaeologians scour
I don't think so.
every corner of the realm for traces of Ultima's touch.
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back as far as Phoenix Gate.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fallen civilization, as if protecting the secrets concealed within.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be of interest, my lord, mayhap it would please you to observe some of our number at work.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey is being conducted not far from here. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov, a small hamlet built around a fallen airship. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary findings, but if you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate any discoveries they have made to you directly.
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most gratified, I am sure. Might I suggest you take the road through Titan's Wake? It will lead you straight to the village after but a short walk.
Thank you. I will.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your heart. My colleagues await you in Kretov, my lord. But say the word, and they will be only too glad to share their findings.
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another lost wing. I hope the inhabitants are just as friendly.
Blessings of the Phoenix be upon you, Lord Rosfield. I too serve his grace, albeit in the role of a humble tanner. Tabor's leather is famed throughout the realm. My task is to see that the craft thrives, and the village with it, in order that my brothers and sisters might remain well guarded and fed.
This is hide unlike any I've had the pleasure of handling. clients will pay a fortune for the merest scrap.
This is the Required Tree, an archive where we of the Undying collect and collate our findings. Fragments of Ultima's true nature surely lie buried within these pages. We have only to unearth them.
For your generous hospitality, my lord.
The Undying are not the only secret fellowship in this realm, you know. There are others, each working for their own ends. Why, not so very long ago, a society committed to discovering how one might cast magics without a catalyst was found to be operating throughout Valisthea. They were denounced as heretics, rooted out, and driven from our shores, never to be seen again.
This is the Required Tree, an archive where we of the Undying collect and collate our findings. Fragments of Ultima's true nature surely lie buried within these pages. We have only to unearth them.
Beneath the flood, yes, and not a stone's throw away.
How are those new boots treating you?
They're fantastic.
Alright.
Soft as...
Oh no. You'll pay for this. May still be survivors. Whatever that thing is, I'd say it's their leader.
Damn it. Fuck you, there's no...
Nice try. Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attentions. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins, a duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all Undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agree to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it does in ours.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Think no more of us, my lord. Only deliver our findings to the bearer of the burning quill.
Let us continue then. There is a second hull further in.
I shall prepare the parchment.
That was a different kind of gate opening I've seen before.
Ah, you are returned, my lord.
I collected your colleagues' preliminary findings. Here, take them.
My thanks. I shall study them and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid you in your fight against Ultima.
Cyril, your survey party suffered several losses in Kretov. Losses which could have been avoided had the others not chosen to complete their work instead of saving their friends. Were these your orders?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty, and should we die in discharging it, so be it.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful to argue. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations, and your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose, and that purpose alone.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please. For all our sakes.
I thank you for your advice, my lord. If you will permit me to respond, our faith in his grace, Joshua Rossfield, is absolute. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty unto him. As first shield to the Phoenix, I am sure you understand what it means to do one's duty.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind. And it is my hope that we may continue to do our duty together. We of the Undying devote our lives to the service of the Phoenix, and you, my lord, are his sworn shield, sworn to protect him from any danger. We both have our duties, so let us see them done.
I thank you for assisting my brothers and sisters with the survey in Kretov, my lord. There are magics beyond mortal ken hidden among those ruins, and others like them. If we can learn their secrets, mayhap we can use them to resist Ultima's might.
Alright, I'm gonna end this one here. Until next time.